Well, 12 Horse, I mean, it's a great beer. It's part of Genesee's history. It's part of the lore. But aside from that, it's just a real clean finishing, easy drinking, accessible ale. Ever since we opened here, people have been asking, when can we get 12 Horse again? It's just great. It's great that people are going to have access to it. It is the first beer that the brewery developed post-Prohibition. We came out of Prohibition with two beers. Basically, Genesee beer and something called Old Stratford Ale, which was a beer that was brewed before Prohibition. But Louis Whaley, the founder of the brewery, he had affinity for English-style ales, and he and Charles Fromm, his brewmaster at the time, presumably were the ones that developed 12 Horse Ale. It was out within a year after the brewery reopening in 1933. Early on, it was described as an English stock ale. It had been a more robust, fuller-bodied beer. Like everything else, adapted with consumer taste. Now it's just, like I said before, just that smooth, easy drinking, accessible, really refreshing, clean finishing ale. The first thing that comes to mind is just the imagery of that 12 Horse team. One of the first things that drew people to the brewery, I think, and gave it a reach beyond Rochester and beyond Western New York. They traveled all over the East Coast, making appearances at fairs and special events. Everywhere it went, people commented on it. They drew crowds. It was a memorable sight. And the imagery of it, it was a ceremonial thing at first. I think it had to do with making a big splash out of Prohibition. It's just that iconic image that people still connect with the brewery. It's one of the defining images that bring Genesee to mind for people.